Yeah, we've done a lot. We got 37 new players on the roster that were not here a year ago, and some of the areas that we addressed were corner specifically in the secondary. We added a couple guys up front, added a couple edge rushers. So I feel like we addressed some of the depth needs that we had, and then just year one to year two from a schematic sense, you see a lot of great strides. You saw big jumps from year one to year two when I was the coordinator at Illinois, and anticipate seeing the same thing this season. Yeah, it's huge. There's the continuity, especially you come into a program and everything's brand new. So if you would have had more change going into year two for the roster, it's just hard because it's different, right? So to have familiar faces and you get to know sort of how people operate and what to expect from everybody on a day-to-day basis. I just think it creates a sense of calm, and you continue to build trust and respect in the building. So the chemistry and the camaraderie, gets ramped up. All the natural things that sort of take place. You go from year one to year two in a program. Yeah, obviously the sort of the halfway point in the season a year ago. I got more involved. We have a great defensive staff that all sort of knows each other and has worked with each other, and so we can hold each other accountable and have uncomfortable conversations frequently, and I think you grow from those. In terms of my involvement defensively this fall, obviously it'll be a collaborative effort. Kim Kane is our coordinator and does a great job just organizing things and being a sounding board. Which if there's a bonehead play call out there, it is my fault. So I'll take the blame on those. Yeah, it was that balancing act was the thing that was hardest for me to balance. Just like how am I spending my time and utilizing sort of my expertise and my talents for the betterment of the program, while being the head coach, and but also I was pretty good as a coordinator, you know what I mean, and that's what got me the job. And so it's how do I stay engaged and stay motivated and creative, and doing the things that I love doing that got me here, while still being able to be the head coach and take care of all the areas of the program. I think this year will be easier to do so because some of the things that you're trying to tweak or fix or accomplish outside the playing field in year one, like those things are up and running now. Like the different departments are operating at an efficient level and with consistency, and so I feel like my time will be not as spread thin. I'll be able to dive into more of the football aspect of game planning and coaching. So I'm excited about that. Football is what I love to do. It's what I've been doing my whole life, and the less fundraising and less media obligations and things of that sort, the better, especially during the fall.
Coach, just with the changes in the conference, you had the divisions before 7-7. Now it's 18 teams competing to be 1 and 2. Does that change the way that you run a program at all?
I think it's a better question for guys that have been doing it for a long time. You know what I mean? I don't really have anything to compare it to because it's sort of the landscape has been the landscape. You know what I mean? So I can't tell you if it's harder or easier than it has been in the past, just because I don't have that luxury of that comparison. Now I do think because of that, we've been able to adapt maybe easier than some. I think we've used NIL and use the landscape and the rules to our advantage. We wouldn't. I'm happy with the place that we're in from a program standpoint right now, and we wouldn't be in that place if it weren't for NIL and if it weren't for the transfer portal. And so, I'm definitely not complaining.
In regards to NIL and the portal, you lost a big offensive star in Deion Burks and a big defensive star in Nick Scorton. How do you look to kind of keep guys in the long term there if they do have a breakout season, so they're not poached by some bigger school?
First and foremost, I love both those guys to death, right? Like those are, I could pick up the phone right now and call either one of them, and we'll have a great conversation. And they had to make decisions that were the best for them and their families, and they were well within their right to do so. And so, I enjoyed the time we got to spend together. I wish them nothing but the best in the future. But if you look at what we were able to accomplish in the portal, I thought we got better at wide receiver. I thought we got deeper at rush end. Now, can you replace the type of production that Nick Scorton had? I mean, shoot, leading the Big Ten in sacks and all the things that he did on a weekly basis. I don't know if any one player is going to make up for that type of production, but I think we're better collectively. We had 35 sacks last year. I would anticipate us being close to that number, with Nick Scorton not in the lineup.
Coach, being placed last in the medium ball rankings, how do you use that as motivation to these guys to make sure you guys are on that?
Yeah, I mean, anytime you're a competitor, the three things we talk about in our program all the time are being competitive, tough, and disciplined. There's a reason why competitive is at the forefront. You go 4-8, like you're gonna have a chip on your shoulder. You feel like you got something to prove. And then specifically with the guys that we added from the portal, like they have a chip on their shoulder as well because they feel like they have something to prove. So you get those type of guys together that love ball and feel like they need to earn respect, coupled with 18 out of 18, like that just adds fuel to the fire. I alluded to everybody having a chip on their shoulder in the on the podium in the building, and 18 out of 18 is a large part of why.
What did Hudson do in the offseason to put on muscle